Today I'll be talking about the Getchell family once again. If you don't know who these people are or what all they have done, I have an entire series on my channel in the playlist section. It is very easy to find, and the story gets very odd, and you're going to want full context because it's pretty deep as well. If you like videos like these, make sure to like and subscribe as I make videos on internet dramas, locales, and more. Along with this series, I have many others on my channel as well in that playlist section that you can go check out. Make sure you use YouTube's mobile-only hype feature in this video and watch all the way through, as that helps me and the video out the most. I also have some updates coming on some of those series as well. So yeah, make sure to look out for that as well. But follow my Twitter is linked in the description below. And with all that said,
let's go!
Scam update. So to update people on the scam that they did in my last video I talked about them on, they surprisingly didn't completely sweep it. I think they just basically couldn't because of all the comments regarding refunds and stuff, and being a scammer is a huge label to have on yourself. She didn't directly respond, and she wouldn't really directly respond other than, of course, the videos I've shown. She wouldn't directly respond to people asking for updates on the refunds, which I think asking for updates on them is valid, but you can see her like comments telling people, quote, "It's none of your business," which is kind of insane to say considering it is their business, especially if they are a victim of the scam. And also, if you want to go down the "I'm very sorry, I feel really bad about it" route, but you ought to not be rude towards the people that you scammed. If you're really apologetic for it, you should be responding. You should be answering this in the comments in some way, somehow. Sadly, though, TikTok removed the pin a comment feature for whatever reason, so you it's harder now to kind of see more direct responses, even if she did put one in the comments. Although she doesn't get that much interactions, so it's also still possible to see it pretty easy. But she should make a video herself talking about it. But here's an example. There's other examples as well here of people saying, "Where's the proof that you refunded?" And someone says her real supporters aren't asking for, quote, "proof." So if you are not one of them, then she doesn't need to show you anything but the block button. And then there's also some other ones saying it's the same account too. There's some defenders. It's very rare, but they're asking if you didn't get a refund, please message me. And they say, why would they let you know? Who are you? Are you going to be refunding them? I mean, it's good to kind of spread the word about if you haven't been refunded. It's just kind of weird to me that she still has supporters, but I think some of these people just genuinely don't know about everything. Because I think as a woman, and just even as a man, or just as a human being, but I think even more of a woman, you should be more understanding of her and be, although not defending her, I feel like you should still be disgusted by everything that they have done. I think they are assuming as well that people that are in these comment sections are not fans. And it's hard to tell through text, sometimes if they are genuinely asking, if they're a troll. It just depends on, I guess, your mood or just how you read it and just the message in general, because like I said, it's hard to read text sometimes. And even though, yeah, sure, it's hard to tell sometimes, it's still weird to be this way towards your own possible fans. And less than 2 weeks after she made the original video, updating everyone on where the refunds were and stuff, or oh, I'm going to be refunding everyone, she has another video, and here it is.
Hello everyone, so everyone who requested a refund has been refunded for the wishlist items. I was able to complete them earlier than I expected. I apologize again for being so stupid and immature. Deceiving people is wrong, and I knew that. I should have been honest from the start, and I wouldn't have lost the trust of my followers. I am moving on. I am moving forward with full honesty from now on. The only support I will ask of anyone is that you watch my videos and engage with them. Same with my Facebook content. All it takes is a short amount of time, and that's what helps me the most. I'm still going to do my TikTok shop videos, and I may at some point put up some merch for sale, but I never expect anyone to buy if they don't want or need the item that I'm advertising. If you do buy merch or a TikTok shop item that I advertise, thank you so much, but I won't be lying anymore to get support. If I don't truly believe in an item, I won't give it a good review. I will always be honest with my TikTok shop reviews. That is my promise to all of my followers. That being said, I am moving forward and continuing to build my Facebook and my TikTok. Facebook will become a place where I can post Christian content and spread the word of God, while my TikTok will be a place where I can show myself and my life. For those who want to continue to support me and come with me on my journey, thank you so much. I know there will be those that will try to bring negativity and tear me down. To them I say, I forgive you and I still love you just as God has commanded me to. However, I will not be tolerating any negativity, any hate, or any dredging up of past mistakes. Comments will be deleted at my discretion, and anyone who is continuously or overly hateful or negative will be blocked. I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll see you again soon.
So supposedly everyone's been refunded, which is hard to believe, but she still admits that, of course, that she lied and scammed everyone, which I guess, like, admitting it is pretty good in a way, but it also just doesn't really change anything in my opinion, but just more proof against her. A lot of people are doubting the refunds, like myself, and even questioning them as how did they go from not having the money to refund people and being struck and, like, having a hard time financially, which they always are, to then having all the money in less than 2 weeks. If you are a victim of their scamming and didn't get a refund, then please post your proof on the Reddit if possible. Sadly, I don't think anyone who got scammed said anything on the Reddit. There's, I think, maybe one person that possibly did, but I can't remember. There are some comments on the video, like I shown, where people are like saying, I didn't get my refund. And at the same time, as people in the TikTok comment section, it's hard to say whether these people are true or not. So, and there was no like TikTok videos as far as I've seen of people exposing them like, oh, I never got refunded despite her saying all of them are cleared. Stuff isn't lining up still, and her situation was made even worse here about how she got the money because of a comment she posted later on. This was 4 days ago saying, how much lying can she be capable of from Echoes of Now? And it shows like one of her TikTok shop like things where she's promoting a dog bowl, and someone comments saying, actual question here, have you considered getting a normal job? I think it would help you out socially as well so you don't get super delayed. Sarah responds saying, okay, first of all, I'm not, quote, socially delayed. You definitely are. I have plenty of friends from previous jobs that I hang out with. Why are you not still in those jobs? Which is a question I ask later on. And if you genuinely know what happened with her previous jobs, because I know she worked at a grocery store at one point, and for whatever reason she doesn't anymore. I don't think they've moved around that far away, I feel, but who really knows. Second of all, I am working on getting a job. Job hunting isn't an overnight process. I have to wait for my application to be reviewed, wait for an interview, and then wait to get hired. I'm actively checking on my applications as well, so yes, I'll be getting an actual job as soon as possible. So somehow they got the money despite only 2 of them working in the house if Teresa is still working. And like I said, if anyone knows on why she left her job originally, you can let me know. Maybe it's because they had to move again to another extended stay, but I truly don't know. And they live in the Dallas area or whatever big city like they're close to, so I don't see how she couldn't find a job. I know that sometimes jobs take a while to get, which is fair, but I would honestly love to see like her resume or cover letter in general, because I feel like she might be so far behind that she can't even sell herself to a job site, even in an interview. And she might have like weird stipulations like, I can't work on weekends, or I can't work on these days, or whatever. I feel like she'd be saying stuff like that. She also probably uses Indeed and other services that just don't really work, if she even uses those. And honestly, she probably doesn't even have a resume, like at least a halfway decent one. And there's like, you have to, whenever applying for jobs, you can't just use Indeed. Indeed is known to be kind of useless, so she probably isn't aware of that and is having to use like these not really working methods. She's probably not calling into places and really putting in hard work. Not hard work, it's not really hard, but just putting in more work to get a job. It's also possible that she's just simply lying and hasn't really been getting a job or doing any job search of any kind. To add here, because I didn't have anywhere else to add it, she's calling herself a celebrity, which I think is very interesting. And you're probably wondering, well, what do I mean? By Month Exotic 4302, it says, ma'am, you are not a celebrity by any means. Whenever someone asks what's Cameo or what's a Cameo, it says it's an app where you can get personalized videos from celebrities. Smiling, blushing emoji. No, she's not a celebrity. Although there's celebrities on it, she's kind of putting herself in those ways. Health update. There, of course, is always people commenting about the Getchell family's health, like her foot hygiene, and how like everyone has like weirdly outgrown nails, like toenails specifically, and how there might be stuff wrong with them. But other than her arched back, which I think I've talked about before, it also seems like she might have hypermobility in her legs. Because of this post right here from IC_department 9913 saying, I'm genuinely confused. What is wrong with her knee? And you can see it's kind of more bent in an awkward way. I think they both are-ish. I'm not exactly sure. From what I've seen, hypermobility might affect some people. It might not. But there is like joint pain that possibly comes with it and stuff. And maybe that's another thing where Sarah's like, I can't stand. I can't stand for 8 hours. I can't stand for an 8-hour shift. You know what I mean? And that's another point that I forgot to bring up in like the last section talking about her getting a job and everything is that she would get, like, if she worked full time, and some places even have it for part time, she would have those benefits of health insurance and dental insurance and stuff where she could go to doctors and get help for certain things that she needs like help with. You know, dental for getting her teeth cleaned and maybe some braces if she wanted to go that route. And other stuff like that. So getting a job would help her in more ways than just one, especially if she's not going to go to school, if basically the SeaWorld dream is kind of dead, which I think it is dead in the ground. It's just, you know, a fair thing to kind of criticize. Another thing that I've noticed that could go under another section is how differently she looks from a year ago, or how differently she looks from, I think this isn't even a couple years ago. This has all happened within, I don't think, the past like 3 years. It's hard to say. Someone was showing off pictures of Sarah and Patrick back whenever, like, a while back, and then they get to a picture of Sarah here that I'm showing on screen, and she looks so much different. Don't get me wrong, in some of those posts as well, you could kind of see that she has like these eyes of like someone that is crying out for help or someone that is not doing well mentally, and probably because of Patrick. But at the same time, like, it's just insane how different she looks. She has like her own sense of style in this picture as well, as you can see. She, like, her hair is better. I'm sure like her hygiene overall is also better in these pictures as well. And this was probably whenever she was at school and, like, you know, actually had a social life. And speaking of socially delayed, this is probably some steps of it is whenever you're around other people, especially in school, you want to, whether it's seeming popular or not seeming like a total loser, you want yourself to be cleaned up and everything. And she probably, you know, has like completely left that now from what it looks like, and, you know, her recent self. It's insane because her hair, I'm not like a hair expert, but her hair looks in better quality. It's not greasy or anything in this picture, which it easily could be like any other day, of course. But it looks better done. It looks like there's actual effort and care. And nowadays, you know, she doesn't really have clothes. All of her clothes kind of suck and are under like Patrick's weird stuff. It seems like, you know, she's always in a different era or whatever. Like she's trying to force like a office job girl era. Look at these clothes and stuff around that. And here it just seems like she had her own sense of style, which I really like. But I think they also try to say, this was my demonic era and stuff like that. Not trying to make fun of religion and stuff. Like, if you want to do better, you can. But they try to like act like she was just so bad off at some point. And I wish that she would go in more detail about that, because what made you so far gone? You know what I mean? During your younger years, what were you doing? Because I don't see her doing much now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, looking at how she acts now and even how she was back then, I'm like, was she really even doing anything? Like, what happened for them to be like, oh, she's such like she was a deviant at one point? But yeah, like I said, her eyes used to kind of have like a little bit more hope in them, some pain for sure, but now it just looks like they're just completely filled with delusion. So they don't really have that same like cry for help or that same like reality check in them anymore. And this was just something I wanted to show, not to like degrade her or anything like some people would probably want to do. It's just like mind-boggling and very interesting considering everything. And Patrick really just gives her terrible clothes now, and her style and herself now is just gone. Whatever, and it's just whatever he wants her to be, sadly. So I wonder what she would look like with her own sense of, you know, herself. You know what I mean? Like, what she would look like if she got to choose her own style and such. Creepy. There are some creepy moments, both old and new, that are resurfacing that I want to show here. First, I'll go over some of the screenshots as they're posts, like old posts, and I think maybe even current ones. But this one is by Mama Shades saying, yet another unholy Christian find. It says Psalm 34:8. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in him. It looks like a couple's post. That's the best way to put it. And kissing her cheek and stuff, that doesn't really seem holy. The picture's a little blurry. It might even look like she's licking the side of her face and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not going to go that far. Psalms is a very good book, though. I definitely recommend it. I love Psalms. But OK-Builder1045 says a throwback, and it shows a picture of an older post, of course, you can see here. I can't remember the time span of whenever she used to look like this and how she looks now. But I think she rapidly changed. But anyway, it says, to S being 21 and sitting on Patrick's lap with an arm wrapped around his slime ball neck. That's it. That's the post. And yeah, this is disgusting. Why is your daughter sitting on your lap at 21 years old? Okay. Now we're going to go over some of the interesting clips I have found. And one of them looks like they are flirting. And here it is.
Exactly. She's very devious.
See my halo?
Yeah, okay.
I'm a perfect angel.
Yeah, okay. Alright, sure. Anyway.
Talking about being devious while also in the woods is actually insane considering the context we have now with their stories. And stuff is just now linking together worse and worse. It's just not in their favor at all, no matter what they do. The next seems like to be a weird inside joke.
More here.
It doesn't look very appetizing, but I promise it is because he's done this before.
Well, it's... When you think about it, if you use dry breadcrumbs, you get, like, dry meat, right? Because, you don't have enough... you don't have enough moisture in the dry breadcrumbs to really give it that nice, moist taste.
I wonder what they meant by dry meat. Like, what does that inside joke mean to them? Maybe Patrick can never get a certain meat wet? I don't know. I'm just saying. But also with the way they act, I don't think that... I think that, sadly it was. But here are some cringe moments I couldn't put anywhere else.
Sarah's back. Hey, guys. Okay, so my family's here so they can listen too, but I just had possibly the cutest encounter I've ever had.
Okay.
I was walking up the stairs to the bathroom, and I saw this little girl point at me, and I thought she was just, telling her mom that she liked my dress. Her mom came up to me and goes, she's a little shy, but she wanted you to know she loves your dress. This girl couldn't have been more than 5 or 6 years old, and I kind of knelt down a little. I'm like, well, thank you, sweetheart. She goes, are you a princess? Aww. I'm like, no, sweetie, I'm just a regular girl. And then this is the cutest part. She looked at me and she goes, well, you're pretty like one. Aww. My heart just melted.
Kids are awesome.
I know.
That is so sweet. I know, she was the sweetest little thing.
Kids are awesome. It's when they grow up into adults with each other.
Back at the track.
Oh my God!
What you will find.
No! No!
A poem for my wife. I haven't memorized it yet, so I'm going to read it to you. I know I wrote it, but, I haven't memorized it yet. I started out my life with my mom and dad. Nothing could compare to the love that they had. I grew up learning what it truly meant. Their love was always covering me like a tent. When I became a man and you came into my life, I realized I had to make you my wife. I had grown up with a lot of love, but the feelings I felt for you were so far above. I soon realized that love has no limit. It is not some mushy, crazy gimmick. Love can see you through anything, no matter what hardships life might bring. You taught me so much about what love can be, because you chose to give your love to me. I now know how true love can feel. My love for you is so strong and real. Now I am a parent like my mom and dad before. It doesn't matter if we were rich or poor. Love will carry us throughout our life, as long as I have you as my wife. We raise our children to know that love will take them where they want to go. When they grow up and find their own love, they will soar through life just like a dove. I love you, Teresa, more than I could ever say. I hope you like it.
And some of those were also pretty creepy, but and just overall cringe, but yeah. Nonsense. Sarah in the past did some community vote things, like for her dad. I remember they tried to get their book or Patrick as an author in this community thing where you had to like go in and vote for them. I don't know how they got into this. I don't know about the last one as well. I think this was just from an outside organization that was not TikTok. But they did this community vote contest thing for Jackie this time, and she left out that the winner gets $10,000. Someone actually commented down below asking, what would you do with the money if she wins? This was before she refunded everyone. Would you get you a hose for you and her, maybe with a big yard? What? Dude, we gotta like punctuate and like think our sentences out sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like to be grammar police, but dude, sometimes you all are difficult to read. But anyway, Sarah responds saying, all the money will be for her. Anything she wants, toys, food, treats, it will all be hers. No. No, it wouldn't be. Also, like, don't get me wrong, I think they go on a shopping... They might be dumb enough, actually, now that I think about it, to do a shopping spree on her. But I just don't believe this at all. I don't believe that all the money would have went to her. I think Patrick would have took a lot of the money and done something with it and then maybe gave a little bit towards Jackie. But also, what do you mean for whatever she wants? She can't tell you if she wants like a certain food brand or a certain thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's just better ways to word that as well. But this person adds on saying, like, come on, how is your entire life lying and you're still not good at it at all? Side note, does anyone know if I pause the video to read comments, do they get money? And I don't know how the TikTok monetization system works, because the ads only play once you're finished with the video. So I don't really know. So I don't know how to answer that either. If someone knows in the comments down below, because I'm sure a lot of people that watch these videos also like watch the creeps themselves and don't want to give them money, of course. So if y'all can let me know in the comments down below how that works, it'd be really appreciated by me and many others. Championship Low 9678 said her daddy made the chocolate. And this comes from a Dubai chocolate self-making kit or whatever, because I don't know, they did that, I guess. And this is like one picture that came out from it, and the next thing I'll show you is another picture that came out from it that's very popular in this community right now. But it says, we're all flaming her, but dude, that video is actually so boring. So much blabbling on and on about the box, what she's doing, the dog, the lunch she ate. Wouldn't it make the video so much more interesting if she actually showed a step or two in the process? But nothing, not one thing. I'm constantly amazed at how lazy she is in these videos. She couldn't even bother showing it being made because we all know her daddy made it. And all the people enabling her in the comments are just inflating her unwarranted ego. And yeah, these videos, like, there's not a lot of cuts with them and stuff like that. Like, you know, to make a video... Not even just for retention purposes, but their videos are very boring. They have a lot of dead air in them in a lot of bad ways and all the time. Also, I just don't know if these people have iPhones or not. I think these guys are Android users because their phone quality never looks good. Also, of course, you see in these videos, Sarah, along with her, if she truly wants to dress that way, if that's truly her style and fashion, then it needs to be changed because it doesn't look great. There's just so many better ways to be dressed up and such. But aside from that, you know, her bangs are always everywhere. Her hair's not really done well. She had a really nice pair of glasses, and she still goes with these old people thin frames. No offense to old people, no offense to these frames, but they don't work on her at all, I guess I should say. These are outdated and look more like Patrick in this situation. I think Patrick literally has like nearly the same frames. But the next picture here is like the one that's super popular, which is her reaction to Dubai chocolate being opened up and everything. It's by particulars-zombie713 saying Pastor Sarah. And it also talks about her deleting comments again, because I think they said they weren't deleting comments anymore. People have been bringing this up. But the reason that she's deleting comments is because people exposed her for letting Jackie eat the chocolate because it fell on the floor, and they just let the dog eat it. Invected saying, Sarah letting Jackie eat Dubai chocolate /pistachios Kanafa. I don't know what that is. But it says, literally not one of these is good for dogs because of the high fat / sugar content / cocoa content, etc. She picked it all up, and then you can literally hear Jackie licking the floor like 10 seconds straight. No matter which part of the chocolate bar she left on the floor, Jackie is at increased risk of pancreatitis. And another thing about this is that these people don't really have money. So if the dog gets sick, the dog's going to either die or going to have to tough it out. So yeah, letting the dog eat the chocolate is also just insane because everyone knows you're not supposed to give dogs chocolate. Although some might be able to survive it or whatever. Just don't do it. Don't be lazy. And also, dogs could just simply lick the floor where it was dropped at, but these people are not clean individuals, so I doubt that she actually really picked up much of it. She also just promoted a toothbrush, which a lot of people really have been making fun of because of, the family's dental hygiene is terrible. And also, it's just another one of those examples of her being a very bad saleswoman. I'll even show the video, of course.
I already filmed this video, but for some reason it was muted. I think maybe it was the sound, so yeah, it got muted. So it was just an after shower routine, and in it I used this. This is a toothbrush that I got off of the TikTok shop. It's an electric toothbrush. There's a stand over here. It comes with this stand. And then it also comes with 5 of these. You can change them out when they get dirty or whatever. And it comes with a charger. It just plugs into the bottom here and into USB. And yeah, you can charge your toothbrush. It also comes with different settings. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Give me a second. There we go. Whiten, clean, sensitive, polish, and massage. So yeah, it has all those different settings. It's surprisingly very comfortable. It doesn't hurt at all. Normally when I use electric toothbrushes, it kind of hurts my gums because I have very sensitive gums. But luckily this one does not do that. So yes, this is the Fairy Wheel electric toothbrush. The link is above my name. If you would like to get yours, please go do so. I highly recommend this toothbrush.
But yeah, like I said, she's also just whispering a lot. It's not even in a sexy way or whatever. It's just in a shy, low effort way. And there's a lot of low effort with this promotional video as well, because instead of just cutting the part where it didn't successfully focus, she just stops the phone and then starts recording at the front facing camera. So it's just weird to me. Lack of effort, the lack of probably really wanting to be there. And of course someone was like, just give your dad the toothbrush because he needs it and stuff like that. I don't think we saw her use it, is the funny part. And I think she used the excuse that there was it was muted for whatever reason. So I don't know. But yeah, that's just another interesting thing that happened here. Like I said, this is just a bunch of nonsense. All of this is. Getchell family failed Facebook. Like I talked about in the last video, they are now over at Facebook trying to, of course, get monetized over there. And there are some clips that I can't really show. I can show only one of them because it doesn't have copyrighted music in the background. But to explain the clip I was going to show, it's basically Sarah doing a advertisement. So I don't know how to explain it, but she's walking in straight lines, trying to talk about the Bible and stuff like that. But you know how they are. So it's either hypocritical or just not really genuine. But the other one is her doing prayer requests and stuff like that. And one of the posts says, or I think the clip I'm going to show says, how much longer until she starts charging for them, which would be pretty insane. Here's the prayer request.
I read every single prayer request. This prayer is for you. Dear Heavenly Father, I come before you tonight and I just want to pray for my followers. Lord, I pray for Sarah, that she has a good report on her ultrasound and that she has a happy, healthy, and successful pregnancy delivery, and that her baby boy is healthy and amazing. And Lord, I pray for Ashley, that she learns to have more self-love, Lord, you made her. She is beautiful. She is perfect in every way, and you know that, and I hope you can give her more self-love. And Lord, I pray for Tesla, that she has fertility health. I know those problems are not fun to deal with, and I just pray that you would help her and give her strength, and if eventually, if it's in your will, give her that baby that she is so desperately wanting. And Lord, I pray for all of my followers, and I thank you for giving me this platform and this opportunity to spread your word and build the kingdom of God until one day we are all in heaven with you. Lord, I love you and I praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
If they started charging for them, of course everyone would grill them, even just people that don't really know they're in a situation, like, because everyone would know that's kind of like immoral and just using religion for money, like people already do. Like, there's already a problem I have with them and them spreading religion is that, like, it just makes it look bad because these guys are literally, you know, they're into each other, they have a lot of controversy, and now they try to spread the word of God. It's just, it's not genuine. Because every time they act like that, they also will have, like, a moment of being exposed and then, like, repeatedly cussing and stuff like that. So, it just doesn't work. But now that I'm over that, let's go over some actual posts. I think they all have accounts now, even, like, a family account. I think it's mainly just Patrick, Sarah, and then a family one. But Patrick says here on Facebook, Happy New Year to everyone. I can't wait to see what 2026 has in store for me. 2025 was awesome and I learned so much. 2026 is going to be awesome as well. No. Sure _ pair _ 5936 says, my apologies if this has already been posted. I don't normally post in this group, but I saw what Patrick had to share. What is wrong with him? He thinks what he did is okay, which is a good point because 2025 was terrible for these guys. It was not good at all. Like, what part, like, don't get me wrong, they're still alive. We don't know much about their health other than they're unhygienic. There's, like, stuff that they could technically be thankful for, but that year, like, literally ran through them. And I'm not even going to, like, actually in that way. It literally ran right through them. It's insane. So, no. Next post shows off the Life of Sarah account. Of course, this was posted about a month ago, but I'm sure nothing has really changed. Sarah, in this screenshot, only has 5 followers saying, Welcome to Life with Sarah, Christian content, cross emoji, cleaning and home routines, mini vlogs and real life, just sharing simple days, faith-filled moments, and encouragement along the way. Let's grow together. And I think someone tried to call out, like, the cleaning and home routines because they don't really do that much at all. But mainly, I don't know if she's been posting vlogs or whatever. That account is mainly for, like, religious purposes, which I'll get more into later. Just a Queen 04 says Dream Team Facebook. And, of course, it shows DadDaughterDreamTeam. And they posted 10 hours ago from the time of screenshotting it a month ago, saying uplifting content, family fun, and cooking with dad. Cooking emoji, yellow heart emoji. DadDaughterDreamTeam shares positivity, encouragement, and real moments from our family to yours. I feel like they might have written their descriptions with ChatGPT, to be honest, but I cannot confirm that. And then, of course, the post says here, when you're driving, you don't look backwards. If you did, you would crash. But yeah, it looks like they've made new Facebook accounts and stuff. And they also showed off in one of these Facebook posts that one of their recipes I wanted to show was the beef stew, because it doesn't look good at all. It kind of looks like pond water with unseasoned everything. This person says here, banana _ seal says, this stew simultaneously looks flavorless as frick and absolutely revolting. Who the frick is going to try to replicate this? Eyes rolling emoji. There's nothing added to the pot to give it much flavor, not even dill. Vegetables are so poorly chopped, and the meat looks tough. Championship Low 9678 says, farting in the woods. Her Christian content is honestly making me mad, like legit making me mad. And why does she look like she just farted and looked back to see if you smelt it? And yeah, I feel like they don't, like I said, they don't have much of a fashion sense. I don't think they have much of a sense of anything pop culture or just anything media-wise, because this picture is not great. It's not flattering. There's ways it could have been, right? Don't get me wrong, but yeah, this one didn't cut it. You don't have to post every picture you take. Echoes and Now says, hey Pete, I thought you weren't going to delete comments anymore. And this one says, she's not doing this for God. She's doing it to monetize. You said it yourself. You know how else she can make money? Getting a job and not grifting while using religion and saying she's doing it for God. As a Christian, I'm appalled that you would say this is for God. Echoes and now adds on saying, old habits die hard with him and his grifter daughter. How the frick do you make a 6-minute video begging people to support Sarah on Facebook so she can monetize it and then say that she's doing it for God? These two are absolutely demented. He of course had to sympathy bait and say times are tough, and he's picking up extra shifts. It's a vape shop. How many shifts need to be picked up? The easiest solution would be for Sarah to get a job and let go of the pipe dream of being an influencer. People don't like her, and that's her own fault. And that is also true. Next, I'm going to be showing off a bunch of the Facebook posts of Sarah's that are like the religious ones. Some of these are really one of them specifically at least is very strange to say the least. The Skimmy Award says, I couldn't help myself. It's Life with Sarah account saying Isaiah 40:31. This one is deep. We all want to go, 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 go. We want to do something, but God says wait for him. Wait for his timing. When we pray and wait for him, that is when we see the greatest results. We rise up and fly like eagles. We move forward and don't tire and get bogged down. So today, take some time and be quiet and wait for the Lord. You didn't capitalize the L in Lord before jumping in head first. I guess it says, but they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. And I'm guessing the Skimmy Awards had the KJ account here, and it says, wow, just 2 likes, you'll be monetized any minute now, which we're going to be getting into a little bit later. Saying, hi Sarah, I know you're watching, or Dad at least is. You can keep blocking me. I got nothing but time to call you out on your fake nonsense. Only content creators who create interesting things get monetized. Your copy and paste Bible babble nonsense isn't going to get you anywhere. I see the whole Facebook fad lasting less than a month before you realize you aren't making any money. Don't forget to stay positive, have an amazing day, and wash your dang hair and nails. Next is by Chelsea Steen, or something like that. I hope I didn't say that too bad. Sarah says she has nothing to be afraid of. And it says, comment your prayer request so I can pray for you. And Sophie says, pray for yourself. Double heart emoji. You will overcome being afraid. Life with Sarah responds saying, with respect, I have nothing to be afraid of. My prayer request would be good for strength to continue to do God's will in my life. Interesting. If I were her, I would have plenty of things to be afraid of. Bold of her. Yeah, if I was Sarah, I would definitely be afraid, because they definitely have more that they're hiding but not showing. And I think that, be afraid. I'd be afraid of job interviews in general if I was her, because what you search up Sarah Getchell and it's just terrible from there. Like, you search up Patrick or Sarah Getchell, I don't know how they would get a job. I mean, a lot of places just hire anyway. They hire a bunch of creeps and just bad people, but still. Championship Low 9678 says, why do we need photos of her? Believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Simon Riley says, I do wish you did not add your image to every biblical quote. It is putting yourself before Christ. Save selfies for other posts. And someone says, I'm glad someone brought this up, though I'm sure it's deleted by now. She looks like a 7-year-old in these photos looking for Easter eggs. Yeah, I don't get the point of these pictures. Also, like, it's a cold day in Texas, right? And the grass is not green. Nothing is working here in the picture. There's just so much wrong with it. Cajun B-Word 05 says, I'm a Christian, but I made a AI corn account with my dad. Referencing the post that Sarah made saying, I'm a Christian, but I say things I shouldn't. I'm a Christian, but I struggle with forgiveness. I'm a Christian, but I struggle with trusting God. I'm a Christian, but I sometimes judge people. I'm not perfect, but I'm still a daughter of God. But it says, does she really think this Christian pipeline will solve everything she and Patrick have done from her Facebook? Pest House says she stopped with the selfies. Where did the cult leader chick go? And now, of course, as you see the comment, at least maybe that one or maybe the Reddit in general got to her. And she now posts all the verses without herself in them. And Chelsea Steen comes back saying, Life with Sarah Facebook off to a bang, and also just exposes, and you could see in the pictures I shown as well, that their posts don't really do well. They don't get like near 10 likes, I'm pretty sure. Some of them get near it. Some of them surpass it by like 1 or 2. But her posts just don't really do that well. And also, I don't know like if the monetization is really through picture posts. You know what I mean? I feel like the monetization is through videos, which I don't know how many she's posting. I've only saw like a couple in my that have been posted through Reddit. because for whatever reason, Facebook doesn't let you look at people's posts. You have to have an account, and that's stupid. IC_midnight_1177 says, there are so many things I could say about this, and this is the interesting post I was talking about earlier, and there's also another one, but it's interesting in a different way. But Sarah posts here saying, love does no wrong to a neighbor, therefore love is fulfilling of the law. Romans 13:10. When I saw this verse, I had to share it. This is something my dad has always told us. When Jesus was asked which is the greatest commandment, he told them to love the Lord your God with all your heart and soul and mind, and to love your neighbor as yourself. He said all the law and prophets hang on these two. This verse is saying exactly the same thing. If you love your neighbor, then, it says then, but I think she meant then, you will do no wrong against him. And if you love God, you will keep his commandments. So love is the key to obeying all the law. And yeah, it's very interesting that she would have this as a post considering everything. Like I said, every time they post, it's just poorly aged after poorly aged after poorly aged comment. Next is by Vronny0 saying, what a quote Christian thing to repost. And it shows Sarah reposting a post here by Laugh or Leave saying, I ordered Taco Bell on DoorDash, tip $5, and when I opened the bag there was a note inside that said, quote, $5? You go to heck. Like what? Bro, you dropped off a chalupa and a Crunchwrap Supreme, not a kidney transplant. Let's do the math. My order is about $10. I kept half the total, 50% for someone to drive less than 15 minutes and drop off a bag on my doorstep. That's more than fair, but apparently we've reached the point to where $5 is considered offensive. So tell me, what exactly are we tipping for now? These apps already charge a service fee and a delivery fee, tax, and unexplained, quote, processing fee. We're one step away from paying a quote thank you fee for just existing. At $5 for a $10 meal sends you into rage. Maybe delivery isn't the job. I didn't realize I was supposed to cover your rent for handling my taco. Hashtag Facebook lifestyle. This is a boring post to repost anyway, but then of course, like, I just don't get the point of reposting this at all, especially on like your completely Christian account. Maybe make a TikTok about it since that's less Christian-y.
The other thing about this as well is, why is she even talking about this? Why is she talking about DoorDash or reposting stuff about DoorDash or people being ungrateful whenever you are literally ungrateful and people are working? They're like, that doesn't sound like the job for you. You don't even work. You have no job. You don't even have a car or license. Despite going up in your 20s now, you're probably about to be in your mid-20s and still don't have your license. You know what I mean? It's just kind of weird. It's so strange that she's going to be so hypocritical of all these other people whenever she's like a worse person. Like, you shouldn't be ordering DoorDash, right? You shouldn't even be eating fast food. Although it's probably better than Patrick's cooking, so maybe they should be, because his stuff sometimes looks like a health hazard. So maybe not even that, but it's still like DoorDash and stuff like that, and then also complaining about like tip culture, but you don't go out to restaurants, or you shouldn't be, and you shouldn't be worrying about DoorDash, and you're spreading a hateful message. Not really exactly hateful, but like, don't get me wrong, like, yeah, sure, these people shouldn't be ungrateful, but still, it's just like, what are you talking about? Why, like, you could hear me during it, I just get bored reading that entire post, because it's just so crackerish. Like, it's literally just Facebook posts, like that, it's hashtag Facebook lifestyle or whatever. Literally could not find a more Facebook post. That's actually not even true, but still. You know what I'm trying to say? It's just, there's no, like, why? How is this at all relevant to her? Is she been trying to DoorDash, or is, like, Patrick doing, quote, extra shifts at DoorDash and not getting tipped enough?
And another funny thing about Facebook is that they don't even like them. So to add on to the Facebook section, other than like one other religious post she actually made a whole video on TikTok trying to promote this one post that she made, because it was so, quote, heartfelt, or so like there's so much emotion behind it that she can't even talk about the post without getting emotional or whatever. So here is the video.
Hey guys, so I have been thinking about some things lately, and I finally wrote them down. Honestly, I wanted to say them, but talking about them would get too emotional. So I put them in a Facebook post. So if you would like to maybe understand some of the things that have been weighing me down, go check out my latest Facebook post. If you want to follow my healing and see how God is working in me to make me stronger and more calm and focused, then by all means, please follow my Facebook. There you will begin to see the whole picture that is me. My faith is my life, and my family is my support. I will not let my past mistakes define me. I am moving forward.
It actually looks weirdly eerie in a way because I feel like the quality of the video was actually not that bad. Not like, I mean like the camera quality, not the actual quality of the video in the, I guess, content sense. It was still like, you know, just whatever. It did look like kind of eerie, and I don't know, I just look at her eyes sometimes and I get kind of freaked out. Anyway, to go on, the whole post that she promoted, that she made a whole TikTok about, says this: I am not beaten, I am not broken, I am strong. For the past couple of years, the internet has beaten me down. They have pushed me aside, claiming I am a victim. They tried to tell me that my choices aren't mine, that I have been manipulated. They have caused me nothing but grief, pain, and stress. When I tried to speak up for myself, they twisted my words, invalidated what I was saying because they believed I wasn't free to make my own choices. I endured it. I tried to move past it, but it affected me even when I didn't want to believe it. I lost my drive for TikTok. I kept trying to come back, but every time their narrative kept vilifying the one person who kept me from falling completely apart. Through everything, the only reason I am back here today, unscathed and clawing my way back to who I am meant to be, is because of God and my dad. My faith is the most important thing in my life. God has seen me through it more than anyone knows. For my dad, he's my rock. He's the one person who has always cheered me up and made me smile no matter what is going on. The constant pressure online, the constant attacks against him, made even him falter and get pushed down. That nearly broke me. I tried everything to stop the constant pressure on him. I even lied in order to take the heat off of him. I knew my lie wouldn't hold up. I hoped that it would put the heat more onto me. The last few months have been hard, but thanks to God, I finally realized where I went wrong. I let others get to me. I let opinions of strangers who know nothing about me get in my head. I let the pressure almost crush me. No more. This is just like one of those posts that she would just make on TikTok. This is some looped over and over again statement, but this time on Facebook. Thanks to God and my dad, I have finally broken free from all of that. I decided to become the woman God wants me to be: strong, independent, kind, and loving. What? Loving? In what way? I no longer care what anyone else thinks. I will spread God's word far and wide. I will show people who I really am. To those who don't like who I am or not important, they can say whatever they want. I will no longer be ruled by the voices of strangers who don't know me, because I hear the voice of the one who saved me. His voice even commands the sea to be still. His voice, even Sam Alliance's voice, created the universe. So no matter how many voices try to tell me I'm not good enough or that I should listen to them, I can't hear them because God loves me for who I am. God's voice drowns out all the others, no matter how loud they are. He tells me I am his child. He tells me I am forgiven. He tells me I am loved. No other voice matters. If you're reading this, you too have people hating you, telling you you're not enough, trying to change who you are to fit their narrative. Remember, God created you. He loves you. He will give you strength and endure. Just lean on him. Give him everything you have, and he will heal your wounds and make you whole again. Follow me as I break new ground daily through my faith and my family and become the woman I am meant to be. Showing both old and new pictures of herself, which I don't know why she showed the old ones. The main thing is, of course, their relationship, but it's not everything, because, of course, like, there's other stuff that's happened now as well. The constant lies, the constant, grifting, the mistreatment of animals now. And I'll even forget to say everything here as well. The scam, of course, which is one of the bigger recent things. And, of course, the mistreatment of animals. Their creepy behavior towards each other, which anyone online can actually see. And that's the weird part, too, is that it's like everyone is telling you this. And even people that don't know you all at all, like, hate on you in your comments because of the way you all act. And like I said, the constant lies, that's not very godly. Like, trying to be a godly person and then just going back to being, like, weirdly aggressive in a creepy manner, I guess, to say the least. Just, and also up and down cussing and stuff like that. I don't think they ever used the Lord's name in vain, so I guess there's at least that for them. But still, this is just what she said over and over again, but just in a different platform, basically, because they always have This is basically re-grifting, like I talk about later on, kind of loop on the same things now. She'll go back to her reptiles probably in this next month or two, and of course this Facebook thing will not last long. I don't even think this shows the likes on the post, which probably wasn't many, if any at all. Would have been better as a TikTok, but it also would have gotten completely flamed. Smart-condition-9495 says, searched in Facebook. And whenever you search DadDaughterDreamTeam, the meta AI that, like, of course gives a summary of what you search says, the quote, Dad and Daughter Dream Team refers to a father-daughter duo, Patrick and Sarah Getchell, who gained popularity on TikTok and YouTube for their content. However, allegations of inappropriate behavior have led to widespread criticism and scrutiny. Some people think Patrick's actions are suspicious and predatory, particularly given the nature of their content and his proposal to Sarah with a, quote, purity ring. Facebook users have expressed concerns about the duo, with one post sharing that Patrick created an AI account using his daughter's friend's face and her own, generating disturbing content. The same user claims Patrick admitted to creating the AI account but denied involvement in a lit erotica story about the family relationships, only to later admit to writing it. Their content initially seemed harmless, showcasing a father-daughter relationship, but the allegations have raised red flags. People are saying that Patrick's behavior is, quote, sick and disgusting, and many are urging others to report him. The controversy highlights the importance of scrutinizing online content, especially when it involves unders. Added on text here from the Redditor says, I try to find their Facebook page. I think it's great that Facebook generated this blurb when I typed them into the search bar. And yeah, it's pretty funny. I don't know what happens if you search Patrick or Sarah. I'm guessing that maybe this will pop up either way or something around this because, like, imagine, like, how do you even, why are they online, first of all? Like, why are they allowed to have a platform if this is the case? It's just insane to me. It's insane and interesting to me that, like, they're just not banned off of Facebook. Another AI account. It looks like there's another AI account connected to them, but this time it was found via their link tree, which I think this account has been there for a minute now. Redditor mental illness-dupe says another fake AI account. And it says, it's right in their link tree, quote, our friend DJ song, but it's obviously another NI-generated, quote, artist with only 4 YouTube subscribers. Pretty clearly created by them. So it looks like they tried to make another music account. And of course it's about, the song is about Jesus. Which, whenever it comes to them, I think it's fair to mock them for religious stuff. DJ ARP is the title, and like they said, this person only has like 4 subscribers, and usually they have like 4 accounts or more. You know what I mean? So it's for sure them. I don't think there's any way of denying that. And I guess we'll probably have to keep an eye on DJ ARP since they want to use another AI account to create music. Because they did before. They have the ability to, as they did with Ariella Brigman. I wonder what other AI content they'll create now that I think about it. Theory. This theory pertains to something I've noticed in a lot of their videos. I commented under a certain post. I can't remember exactly which one. It might be the one I'm showing right here, or that I'm about to show right here. But I have a theory that, like, Sarah is trying to get extra Gooner followers because they always show her feet. Sarah never has socks on, and usually if you're a woman online, you like to, like, not show your feet because of people like this. I've seen plenty of women that if they're not wearing shoes or whatever, they censor their feet in videos. At least they used to do this a couple of years ago. And, and Sarah wants to be like a godly person, and of course you see her wearing these like tight clothes, which I get, of course they don't have the money for it, you see in this picture. But also just to have your feet out and not be wearing socks, I think is weird. I think it's kind of trashy as well. But at the same time, like, why do you not have socks on? I think that either maybe Patrick is into something, like maybe into feet, that, or like she's trying to get extra Gooner followers, or that she's that trashy that they don't care. I don't know. That's my theory. Is she trying to kind of also grift on that as well and possibly try to do something with that? But no one compliments her, really. Not many people. I don't think it's genuine when people do. Could you imagine be like, pretty feet? But a lot of people do talk about their feet on this Reddit, but it's because of like how messed up they are. But let me know what y'all think in the comments down below about that. Do you think she's trying to get extra Gooner followers or no? Community question, comments, and concerns. If y'all know about me, you know that I like to add in community questions, comments, and concerns from the Reddits or from whatever I'm using, whether like if I'm using Twitter or whatever, I'll put up some accounts that are either showing off memes or showing off just questions, comments, and concerns like it's titled. And let's go ahead and get into it. Championship Low in 9678 says, "This isn't how society should work," and it shows another picture of Sarah, saying another picture of Sarah like the ones I showed earlier, saying, "So many people work so hard to get nowhere. Then you get slack offs like the Getchel family who get by scamming people and then build a platform, then sell stuff online to make money instead of actually working or having any skills. It's amazing what zero talent can get you this day and age. Reality will have to hit her one day." I mean, the worst case scenario is that both her parents die and she has to actually live a normal life now. And, you know, whether Hunter leaves or Hunter stays around, I mean, there's only so much that can happen after that, right? But yeah, it's insane that so many people either try so hard with content or try so hard in life in general and can either barely get by. And I mean, they're not really getting by either. They're suffering in plenty of ways, I'm sure. But still, it's insane to see them, like, be able to still have platforms, stuff kind of be going their way in certain ways, like them still having accounts and such, and not being arrested. Isn't how society should work or really does work, although plenty of bad people stay online, still have accounts online, stuff like Pyrocynical, which you can go check out that series if you don't know what I'm talking about. But in this situation, society or like a regular life, like reality, is kind of more in our favor when it comes to them. And there's no way they don't make enough off of everything alone. Webtronaut, which I'm guessing is supposed to be like astronaut, but like cool, and like the web, which is pretty clever, by the way. It says, what will happen if Sarah ever gets a boyfriend? Humor me. And there was some questions like this before. Some people were saying that she'll probably end up in a toxic relationship, or like her parents or family in general will manipulate her into leaving it or sabotaging it in some way, which I would agree with. But that was basically some people's thoughts. And I think that I talked about this before. I think Patrick would try to like run them off or something, or the guy would get really creeped out. It's also hard to be like, well, who would want Sarah, or how is Sarah going to find a man? But if she hypothetically did have a man, I'm sure that the family would try to scare him away somehow. Or, like I said, manipulate Sarah into thinking that he's not a good person. Next is by Macaroni and Milk, saying, "Do they think they can hide their crimes forever if they go viral?" Saying, okay, so from the screenshots of Sarah's TikTok account, they seem to have a small following of people being kind and offering support. Most of us assume the majority of these accounts are bots, but one thing I've been wondering is, let's say that these two actually do amass a huge following of real followers and become influencers. I'm willing to suspend disbelief for funsies. People are already trying to get justice for the stuff that's going on with Sarah and are trying to get her brother out of the house. If they do go viral and start popping off in popularity, there's absolutely no way their crimes will stay private. People will start publicly posting everywhere about their AI accounts and the type of X-rated content they made, and inappropriate behavior indicating that Sarah was broomed. And if they're famous, this info will actually gain traction. Actual news outlets will pick this up. Their scams will be reported along with their promise to refund everyone, and then failure to do so. I saw a screenshot the other day of someone who convincingly seemed to know the mother and how she was taken advantage of. Who knows what else will come out that we don't know about. I don't actually believe for 1 second that they will pop off as influencers, but with every little bit of traction they gain, the more likely they are going to actually be exposed for Patrick's behaviors, such as like liking unders, family x family, and luring Sarah, and also scamming their followers. Considering their obsession with deleting any comment that references any other past, I'm shocked that they haven't considered that if they do get famous, that it's absolutely coming out. And that's true. I do think that they aren't like, whenever any of their videos, I don't know if I've talked about this before, but anytime their videos actually do good or get traction, there's so many hateful comments. So they want to stay online and be these like influencers or whatever, but it's literally only going to hurt them in the long run, and their career is going to get chopped off before it even really happens. And also, they're just going to get such a huge amount of hate. There's going to be more police calls and cries for justice and stuff, and more, like they said, news outlets, accounts, and stuff like that calling them out for all their behaviors. So they shouldn't want to get famous. they really should not want to be on the internet in general, because there's already people that, hunt down where they work, hunt down where, they stay at, and also report them to the police. So there's already people that are trying to do an investigation, maybe get a private investigator against them. So if I was them, I wouldn't want to stay around. Smart-condition-9495 says, the lies. For those who think Sarah is so innocent and naive, here's just a few lies that she has told. Moving out, having a job, her work boyfriend, having friends, brushing her lizard with a toothbrush, being middle class, being Christian, writing a book, AI wrote it, not knowing how to use AI, not being racist, and having nothing to do with erotica, vile beyond measure, and the most obvious lie, enjoying Patrick's cooking. There are so many more. This is the dirty grifter you are supporting. And that's true. I just kind of wanted to call out all the stuff that she's lied about, at least in the recent times, and there's probably just even more that we haven't really considered. Don't really see how people can support her unless they feel so bad that she's a victim, but even then, people get fatigued of them pretty quickly or over time, especially after the scams and such. Smart-condition-9495 once again comes in saying, next grift. What do you think the next money-making grift will be? I'm thinking Teresa, Hunter, or Jackie fall ill and they start a GoFundMe for medical care. They must know that no one will donate to them, so it will involve one of their props. But maybe Hunter wanted to do like a sport of some sort because everyone knows they like sports. But we've seen them grift the same ways over and over again, so I think it's more of like a repeating cycle than like a completely new thing. You know what I mean? They do the cooking, they do the religious thing, and they kind of just repeat those things, and also the vlogs or whatever, and animals. I think they're just going to constantly repeat the same things over and over again, even if it fails, which it basically already has. Milk This LaFerry says, how have they not been kicked out of the extended stay for dirtying up the room? We know they're not doing any deep cleaning on the room, and most likely Jackie has fleas, so how has the Getchell family not been kicked out yet? A lot of hotels or apartments would kick you out when you let your room or apartment get extremely dirty and there's enough complaints. And it kind of gets answered in the next one and in the comments of that same post as well by Garage Hot 6176 saying, roach infestation. There's a roach infestation in the hostel they live in. It's all over the reviews. Apparently, there are addicts, rats, roaches, guns. There is even some room where multiple people have written about, saying that they are 90% certain that there is some illegal activity happening there. The area is very unsafe with a bunch of crime happening. And that's like, what people were talking about, where people are like, well, there's so much going on at that extended stay anyway that, Patrick and Sarah are the least of their worries, which is sad to think about because if they were at a decent establishment, they would for sure be kicked out. But they, of course, can get away with going to bad ones, and they will. And their only choice is to go to either a good one where they're going to get kicked out of it pretty quickly because of everyone that calls in, or they're going to go to a bad one in a bad area where they're in danger. So for one, it sounds like they're in danger all day, every day. In the extended stay that they stay at. That's another way that they're suffering. Next is by Garage Hot 6176 again saying, Patrick is hiding something. So they moved to Dallas for no real reason. They are practically homeless. They have a family in New Hampshire. So why are they staying in Dallas? Is Patrick running from someone? CPS, authorities? Like, why would you move into a new state without anything or no real reason? Does anyone remember the reason they stated for the move? Edit. But when you think about it, can you imagine the stories those workers have? Quote, yeah, I work in the hotel where we have criminals, addicts, and some dude dating his daughter, and they scam people on the internet. Like, how chaotic is that place? And the only thing that I could really add on to that was I think they might want to go to, like, the San Antonio SeaWorld in Texas and for Sarah to work there, but, of course, that kind of whole thing is dead in the water. And, of course, they were just talking to their family not too long ago, and they do hang out with the family self-admittedly. So I really don't understand why they would move either. So I feel like Patrick might be running away from something, or maybe they got exposed or caught back then. I did talk about this on my r/FamilyXFamily Isn't Wrong subreddit video, which you can go check out. People have moved states literally just to have their relationships. You know what I mean? So maybe that's another reason why. It could correlate. Plum-Revenue-2878 says, no pets allowed. I'm not going to say where they live because that's messed up as heck, and please don't ask me to DM it to you either. All I'm going to say is where they live does not allow pets unless it's a service animal, and let's be for real, Jackie's doesn't have one single service animal trait. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Didn't they mention that they pay the pet deposit in full and they had to split the payment? How are they getting away with all these reptiles and a huge dog? It seems my point of this post was missed. It's a roach motel. My point is these two lied about the pet deposit. They're housing animals when they're not allowed. These two just don't know how to be honest. That's another lie. So I guess that's another lie that's pointed out. And yeah, like we talked about, there's too many other bad factors in that place for them to really care about animals, I guess. Don't cry about it, love, saying you can't make money off of Litrotica. I'm snowed in and been doing some extra thinking, and it came to my mind that Patrick told all of us that he only did the story because it sells and it would be a quick money grab or gain a lot of traction fast. But the website doesn't generate money whatsoever. There's not even a way to monetize from it. So really, he was doing it out of pure perversion of who he is, which makes me believe it's not a fictional fantasy story, but a real life scenarios. Absolutely sick. I'm wondering if Patrick has a Reddit account for any of this type of stuff as well, because we did see that one Reddit exists. I'm sure there's others as well that exist. He does have a Reddit account. He did look over the Reddits, and I think he like posted it a few times as well. So, but he might have like a whole separate not safe for work one. You know what I mean? I don't know why he would do it as well now if he was not able to. Even if you get traction off of it, it used like the Ariella Brigman name. I don't think they actually did it. Miss Ariella did, but that was one story, and then Patrick had another one that had a lot more, I think, right? So, yeah, it doesn't really make sense. It was literally just out of the love of the game. End. That is all I got for today. I hope you all enjoyed the video and found it interesting. I have another update coming soon on another guy that I talk about a lot, which I think is going to be a very interesting update considering the condition that this dude's in now. And I have some other stuff as well, hopefully in the future. I have a very interesting video I've thought about making, maybe. We'll see how that goes. But, yeah, thank you all for watching this far. It helps out the video a lot, so make sure to also use YouTube's mobile-only hype feature on this video as well. Let me know your all's thoughts about this situation in the comments down below. And if you like this video or videos like these, make sure to like and subscribe as I make videos on low-cost internet dramas and more. You can check out the rest of the episodes, so the other series as well. Follow my Twitter is linked in the description below. And in the end, I'm PERK30, and keep God close.
I'm very different, too. I mean, I don't jerk off to little kids.